Okay, but I'm going to make some changes on D1. So I think you can forget about this activity, but you do this. Okay, you do this. Okay, you do this. That is, if you're going to do reform, okay, there's the effectiveness of reform. Can you see my Word document?
Yes.
Okay, so effectiveness of the reform, okay, whatever words that you want to use, you must give me the name of your act. What is the name of your act? Which act has been reformed? Equality Act, Health and Safety Act, or which act is reformed? You can find one act. Then tell me, what is the previous regulation that is before reform? And then this is after reform. Okay? This is the previous regulation before reform. You know, reform means that they are making changes. That means the act already in existence. But then they enhance it, they strengthen it. Okay, so previous regulation before reform. And this is the current regulation after reform. Okay, current regulation after reform. So give me this information. And this information has to be very clear. Alright? Now, class, because senior students, I don't understand their reform. If I don't understand the reform, I cannot pass you. So clarity is very important, your English. If I don't understand your reform, I will not give you M1. It only makes sense, right? It only makes sense, right? If I don't understand the reform, how can I mark your reform? I cannot mark your reform. Okay? So, I would just put the unclear reform. So, you must clarify, make your reform as clear as possible. And then tell me what are the advantages of the reform. And tell me the disadvantages of the reform. And then here, you have to show me your evaluation of the effectiveness of this reform. You have to give me your judgment. You need to give me your conclusion. So in your judgment here, I think you should consider, because here you are saying about the advantages, disadvantages, right? You're only stating the advantages and disadvantages of the reform. So what is your opinion? So this judgment means your opinion. What is your comments? So your basis will be based on the advantages, disadvantages. So what about the purpose of this reform? Do you think the government is able to achieve the purpose or not of this reform? And how does it impact the business, operations, and decision makings? So with this in consideration, do you think, then you give the conclusion about the effectiveness. Do you think it's effective or not effective in conclusion with this new reform? Or reform, no need no new, okay? With this reform, do you think it's effective or not effective? Okay, I finished my explanation. Now, your turn to ask me question. Anything?